In this video, we're going to take a look at metric units and try to help you to convert between different types of metric units. So, before we get started, let's just take a quick look at something that you will find useful. If you see the expression kilo or K, it usually means we are 1,000, right? Okay, so 1,000 of something. So a kilogram is 1,000 grams. Centi means 1/100th of something. Okay, so that's why a cent is 1/100th of a dollar. And if we are using milli, it means 1,000th. So a milliliter, for example, is 1,000th of a full liter. Now, you need to start by using a little table, and we'll reference that in this video today. But eventually, you need to get used to just being able to convert between these and not having to look things up, just know it from the top of your head. Okay, so those are all quite interesting and useful measurements there of length and weight. Now, as well as that, I should say mass, we also have a few extra things. 1,000 kilograms is a ton. And another thing which helps us to switch between units of volume and capacity is that 1 centimeter cubed, right? Okay, so we imagine a cube and it has a centimeter in length, width, and height. That fills 1 milliliter. Okay, so 1,000 of those is going to be a full liter. So now with all that out of the way, let's have a go at a few example questions. So complete the following statements. So let's start off with 150 centimeters. So we have 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So that means that we have to divide this 150 by 100. We're going to have 1.5 meters. 360 milliliters now. Okay, so millimeters, excuse me. So 360 millimeters. Well, I know that there is 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So if I think about this in terms of centimeters, that would be 36 centimeters. Okay, we can divide it by 10. And if I wanted that in meters, I can now divide by another 100 because there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So that's going to be 0.36 meters. Tons into kilograms. Well, we already know that there are 1,000 kilograms. That's worth 1 ton. So that means if I have 3, then I have 3,000. So what I'm doing here is I'm timesing this number by 1,000. So 3.6 times 1,000 is 3,600. There's our answer in kilograms. Finally, in milliliters, we have 62 milliliters. Well, if I want that into liters, I am going to need to divide that by 1,000 because there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. If I divide it by 1,000, it's going to be 0.062. So there we are. There is our answer in liters. Okay, so we're dividing or multiplying by 10, 100, and 1,000, depending on the unit to get to where we want to be. Let's try a worded question. John adds 250 milliliters of water to a jug that already contains 1.2 liters of water. How much water is now in the jug? So we've got two choices. We can either convert both measurements to liters or both to millimeters to do our addition. So let's start off by writing them both as milliliters, which means we're going to take this and we're going to multiply it by 1,000. So if I times that by 1,000, I will have 1,200 milliliters. So what I've got to do is I've got to do 250 plus 1,200. Now, if I do that, I'm going to have 1,450 milliliters. Now, we're not asked to give a specific unit, but if I wanted this in terms of liters, it would be 1.45 liters, because what I would do, I'd just divide by 1,000. Okay, few other quick questions. Let's have a quick go at some of these. So converting it from volumes into milliliters. Right, so for a quarter of a liter is 0.25 litres. So if I want to get that into millilitres, I'm going to need to times by 1,000. It's going to be 250 millilitres. If I want for part B to start off with 22 of these litres, well, what I'm going to have to do, again, to get to millilitres, times by 1,000. So that's going to be 22,000 millilitres. Now, C is quite similar, but I think we better just look at D before we finish this video. If I have 450 centimeters cubed, well, I know that each centimeter cubed is a milliliter. So this is equivalent to 450 milliliters. And that's what we're aiming for, milliliters. So therefore we are finished. Okay, I hope that helps you to convert between different metric units.